So we're continuing our discussion of time under tension as it regards to unintentional limp. But as Mario brought up at the end of the last class, was we don't want to get stuck on looking for the limp. We want to figure out how to create balance. And so today we're going to work on creating that balance so we don't have that unintentional limp, but we understand how the pieces of time under tension create that symmetry that decreases the stress on the body. Because an unintentional limp is something that happens unintentionally that leads us into a path of injury that we may or may not intend to have. So as we stretch today, I really want you to look at symmetry of stretch and your ability to open up into stretch. And is it even side to side? Because if it's not, this is where we begin the process of creating that balance. So we're going to start our stretches with our basic calf stretch, but I want you to re-examine your calf stretch. Does it feel symmetrical on both sides? Does it feel balanced? Is one side tighter? Is it tighter in your calf? Is it tighter in your hamstring? Is it tighter in your back? Because all of that is muscle asymmetry or imbalance, and we're trying to move towards balance. So you're going to focus on creating that balance, opening up the parts of your body that you need to open up. But to do all of this, we have to start with stance, and this all seems rudimentary and we do it every time, but you're starting to understand why we do it, because that stance that we get becomes a basis in which we look at balance. We're going to start with the feet parallel like you're on a set of skis. And we're going to set the feet specifically at hips width apart. So here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. So midway in between is the width of your stance. So you just saw me step in because I'm getting my feet to hips width apart versus outer hips width apart versus shoulders width apart. We're going to go with the actual hip joint. So you want your feet underneath your hips. You're going to slightly bend your knees. You're going to turn your knees out. This will activate your calves, your quads, and it'll allow your abs to engage as you draw your shoulder blades down and back. Then we're going to push down with our big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal heads, but as always that pinky. So we're thinking about pinky and big toe, and then finally we're dropping weight into our heel. And now it should be 1/3 the weight through, we're going to start at the balls of the feet, 1/3 the weight through the toes, and 1/3 the weight through the heels. That means the majority of weight is forward, and you're actually looking for more of the ball of your foot than you are your toes, even though we're going to anchor the toes down. Once again, calves are on, quads are on, you're turning your knees are out, abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy, shoulder blades go down and back. Now we're going to look for alignment. We want the head over the top of the pelvic floor, we want the head in between the feet, and we want the shoulders square, so we don't want to see any aberration of the shoulders or the hips as we're standing. We want to straighten everything to midline and see what it feels like to be in midline. As we fire up first chakra, that's your pelvic floor. Second chakra, that's your lower abs. Third chakra is your upper abs. You're just going to close your eyes and see what it feels like. See if you have a tendency to want to round your shoulders forward, bring your head forward, or can you bring your head back into neutral, get your chest open, keep your abs engaged, fire up your lats, those are your back muscles. Keep your legs on, your calves, your quads. First, second, third chakra, and keep anchored into your feet as we talked about earlier, and keeping your feet parallel. Now we're going to add the biggest piece where time under tension and unintentional limp can happen. We're going to look to breathing. We're going to make it as symmetrical as possible. There should be no sway. There should be no going side to side. There should be no inhaling where your center of gravity goes up and it goes up into your shoulders and you become top heavy. We want to keep the breath down in the abdomen, really close to second chakra, closer to center of mass. Center of mass is a point. Oh, Mario's going to kill me with the blender. Center of mass is a point in our body that's 33 1/3 percentage way up the body, and is the point in which if we were tossed we would rotate around. So that's where our center of mass is, and that's where we want breathing to happen. Feel what it feels like to breathe. Keep your shoulder blades down and back, elongate your neck. Keep that balance and symmetry. See if the weight feels even in both feet, or if you're heavy in one foot and heavy in the other foot, you're heavier on your outer toes. And this is what's always interesting when we get clients with neuromas. See if you're pressing down with one metatarsal head more than all the rest of the metatarsal heads. We want nice and even foot distribution, so your feet will make a perfect hang 10 on the ground. Remember the hang 10 logo? You want perfect little footprints in the ground. Abs are nice and tight. Head is over top the body. Just a few more seconds in this. I know we're spending a lot of time here, but it's the basis of everything we're doing. And now shift all the weight onto your left foot as you take your right foot cleanly off the ground and you balance. This is going to tell you if you want to fall back over to your right or if you can stand over the top of your left foot, creating balance. Try to keep the work in your hips. Don't let it go down to your ankles or your calves or your neck. Woo! Keep your core on. This is time under tension. Do as I say, not as I do. And then keeping your eyes closed, switch onto your right foot. See what it feels like to switch on your right foot. Does it feel exactly the same, or do you go into falling out to the left or right? Hold everything through your core. This is time under tension. This is giving you understanding if you have balance that's the same on both feet, because if it is, you probably don't have an unintentional limp. But if it feels harder on one side, like you say, I have a good balancing side and a bad balancing side, that's unintentional limp. That's why we're trying to balance this out. And then come back onto 2 feet. Very good. This is where we start. Because now we know what it feels like to be even and symmetrical. We're going to put the block underneath our left foot. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to look at symmetry now. Even though this is an asymmetrical stretch, we're going to look at symmetry on the side of the body. Does it feel uniform through your calf, uniform through your hamstring? Are your abs stabilizing? Are your shoulder blades down and back? Are your feet parallel? Just get to that point, suck in your tummy, and then you're going to pump your hips forward. Keep breathing. Keep smiling. Jaws relaxed. Feel what it feels like to pump those hips forward. Using your abs, not clenching your butt, lengthening your calf muscle. You should not feel this in any joint. So if you feel this in your ankle or your knee, draw it back into muscles, because we're stretching muscles and not joints. This is time under tension. Okay? Hip circles. We're looking for symmetry. Even though we have an asymmetrical foundation, we're looking for symmetry of motion. Keep breathing. Abs are nice and tight. Just store it in the memory. You know, where do you feel this? In your calf, your Achilles tendon? Do you feel this in your butt, your hamstring, or your back? Try to put it where it's supposed to be. Okay, opposite direction. Try not to move your head, because that's where we can create imbalance. We're trying to create balance. Okay, now take your left hand over the top of your head. You're going to try to pick up a very small suitcase with your right hand as you keep your chest up. We're leaning way over to the right. Pick up that suitcase. Chest up. My shirt's just gonna come up. Lean. Try to get your hips over to the left. Just a little longer. This is opening up your obliques. Suck in your tummy. Don't let your tummy hang out. As you now come over to the left, take your right hand over the top of your head. You're reaching for that small, short suitcase again. Push those hips over to the right. Really reach in both directions. Grab that suitcase and breathe. Chest up. Breathing. Okay, come back to center. Chest is nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. We're now going to hinge forward, straight spine, and then we're going to come back up. We're just going to do a pumping back and forth, like those oil fracking machines in Central California. Abs are nice and tight, sucking that tummy. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy. Don't let your tummy hang out at any point. I'm guessing that's about 6. Maria's not here. 7, 8. Think of balance. 9. 10. Good. You're going to take the roller out in front of you. As you keep your foot on the block, you're just going to move, bend and straighten either legs. I'm going to move slightly off to the side so you can see what I'm doing. You're moving your hips side to side. You're bending and straightening both legs. You're just trying to open things up. Keep your spine as straight as you possibly can. You're just trying to open up those calves. Shorten your back muscles, lengthen your hamstrings and your calves. Keep your abs engaged, suck in that tummy. And then finally, you're going to come back up again. Abs are nice and tight. Push those hips forward. Elongate the calf muscles. Shorten your back muscles. Suck in your tummy. And now we're going to switch sides. And hopefully I can remember everything. I want you to see if this side feels exactly like the other side did, or does it feel looser or tighter. But I also want you to look at the particular one-sided units, see if your calf feels tighter on this side or looser. Hamstring, back, abs, lats. We're looking at all those different compartments as you now pump your hips forward. Keep the tummy sucked in, shoulder blades are down and back. You're moving from your abs. You're not moving by clenching your butt. Your shoulders are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. You're breathing. Really feel what it feels like to lengthen this calf muscle. And does it feel the same tightness as the other side, or does it feel a greater tightness? Because we're going for balance, moving away from unintentional limp. Keep those feet parallel, those knees slightly turned out. Keep first, second, third chakras on. As you now take it into hip circles. Make it as symmetrical as you did on the other side. Or if it's easier, figure out what needed to be opened on the other side as we continue the rest of this class. Move from your abs. Try not to move your head. That's a bad habit of moving the head all around, because that's what teaches us to fall over. Move your center around, opposite direction. Suck in that tummy. I think what we did next is we took our hand up into the air and we reached down for that miniature suitcase with our left hand. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Chest is open. Grabbing that suitcase. We go in 2 opposite directions. Now move your hips over to the right. See if this feels the same. Feel if you feel pull into any joint. You should not feel this in your knee. You should not feel this in your ankle. You shouldn't feel this in your low back. You should feel this in your flank here, over in your obliques. You may feel it along the side of your hip, but you're not going to feel it in the hip joint or in the knee joint. If you do, then it means something needs to be tightened up. Suck in your tummy, because we're stretching muscles and not joints. And then we're going to switch sides. You're going to reach down with that right hand, take your left hand up in the air. We're stretching. Move your hips over to the left. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Suck, suck, suck in that tummy. Open up, stretch. Keep everything engaged. Reach for that suitcase. And then come back up. Ask yourself, did that feel exactly the same as the other side? Abs are engaged. We're going to hinge forward. I think that's what was next. And then we're going to come back up. Try to go with the straight spine. Ease into this. Because your brain's going to think you're as flexible on this side as you left off on the other side. Keep sucking in that tummy. Keep a straight spine as you do this. You should feel no pressure into your low back. Your low back's a bunch of little joints. We're not working joints, we're working muscles. Keep your lats on. Elongate your hamstrings and your calves. Suck in that tummy. That should be 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Abs. 9. 10. Now you're going to stay forward with your roller. I'm going to just angle off the side so you can see. Foot stays on the block as you move your hips from side to side, or you can bend and straighten both legs to open up what's going on here. Notice if one side was tighter than the other. And those are all the places that unintentional limp can sneak into our bodies and our movement behaviors. And this is our chance to get them out as we create the balance that we need. Good. And slowly come back up again. We're going to come up nice and tall as we push our hips forward a few more times. Keep those feet parallel. Abs are nice and tight. Suck that tummy in. And good. Go ahead and stand and notice what stance feels like. Does it feel symmetrical, or do you feel like you're falling off to one side, or are you falling forward? We're creating balance now, and that should send your body through all sorts of different sensations as we now connect to our core. Our lats go on. I'm going to move over this way more. Oops. Just notice how much easier it is to get hips width versus wider stances, or even worse, feet turnout position where one leg turns out more than the other. You're going to notice it's easier to get hips width and feet parallel. Okay? Now, we're going to go after your butt. So put your roller off to the left as you cross your left ankle over your right knee. We're going to go into a squat position. Abs are nice and tight. The glute max is a powerful muscle. And unless it is symmetrical and lengthened, we're going to do all sorts of compromising with our butts, leading to back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, and knee problems. So we're stretching out this side. Keep your abs engaged. Chest up, eyes up. And then you can wiggle your butt from side to side. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy. Don't work your shoulders. Jaws relaxed. As you sink even deeper. Chest up, butt out. Push your hips back. Okay, and then straighten your leg. This is where time under tension is really important. You do not work joints, you're working muscles. You're going to do a forward fold on a straight leg. If you feel excessive pressure in your knee, tighten your knee up, tighten your calf up, tighten your quad up, suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. Pull yourself down with your abs. Don't let gravity shred you apart. Suck in that tummy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up nice and tall. Keep that leg straight as your arm goes over the top of your head. Suck in your tummy, move your hips from side to side. And breathe. Think really tall. Think really long. Think really symmetrical. See if you feel it in any joints. You should not. Okay, we switch sides. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. You're going to squat into this. Abs are nice and tight. Notice if one side is definitely tighter than the other. We don't like that. That creates muscular imbalance and unintentional limp. We're looking for balance. So lengthen this muscle. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy as you move your hips from side to side. Notice if the movement's different or exactly the same as the opposite side. Breathe. Jaws relaxed. Chest up. Suck in that tummy. And then now go a little bit deeper. See if this feels exactly the same as the other side or different. Chest up, abs on. Jaws relaxed. And then straighten out your left leg. Make sure all the muscles are on so you don't feel it in the joints, especially at knee joint. Abs are nice and tight. You're leaning forward. If you do feel it in your knee joint, it means something needs to be stabilized, like your calf, your quad, your hamstring, your abs. You're pulling yourself deeper into this actually from your abs. Notice if it's exactly the same or different than the other side, because we're going for balance. Suck in your tummy, and if it's not, create that balance. Keep breathing. Just a little longer. Quad on. And then now we're going to come up. Arms over the top of your head, you're reaching up nice and tall. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. And you can wiggle those hips side to side. From your abs, not from your joints. Okay, you're going to release your leg down. And you're going to, once again, check into stance. See what it feels like to have your feet hips width apart. Feet parallel, pushing down big toe, little toe, all the rest of the toes. And the distribution of weight through your feet. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. You're going to look at head motion. We're going to look at another stretch. We're going to take our right foot forward, left foot back. Your left heel is down, your feet are parallel. Both legs are locked out. Abs are nice and tight. First, we're just going to rotate into it. You're going to rotate to the right, and then you're going to rotate out of it. It's just stretching your glute max on this right side. You can use a roller. Trying to lengthen the fibers of your glute max. You can put your hand on your butt to feel those fibers elongating, because we want to take them out of their clenched position. Okay, and then here we go. You're going to slide down, reach down as one hand stays on the roller, one goes down your shin. Abs are nice and tight, both legs are straight, both feet are parallel. You're sucking in your tummy. You're making sure it's in major muscle groups and not in minor muscle groups or in joints. Tighten your abs, stabilize. Both quads are on. Just a little bit longer. Suck in that tummy. And then you're going to come up. Take your right hand over the top of your head. Both legs are still straight. You're just going to lean back. Arching back, you're opening up your rectus femoris. Keep your abs tight. You should feel no compression in your low back at all. If you do, tighten your abs even more, which should drive the stretch deeper into those hip flexors. Okay, come on back up. We're switching sides. We're looking for balance, so we're balancing things out. If it's tighter on one side than the other, figure out how to create that opening. So now you're going to do your same twist and open. Keep those legs aligned. Both legs are straight. Both feet are parallel. Abs are nice and tight. You can put your hand on your booty just so you can feel the fibers lengthen and shorten, making sure you're using the right part of your body. Chest up. Suck in that tummy. No bellies are hanging out. Keep breathing. Okay, and here we go. You're going to reach forward on the roller and reach down your leg with your left hand down your left leg. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. Keep your abs engaged. Lengthen what you need to lengthen, tighten what you need to tighten. You should not feel this in joints. It should feel very even compared to the other side. And if it's not, just figure out what it takes to do it. Jaws relaxed. Abs are on. And bring yourself back up nice and tall. We're going to arch in the opposite direction. Our goal is to open up a very tight low back from a long week's work. Quite frankly, I didn't even know today was Saturday. That's how long my week has been. Abs are nice and tight. Lean back. And good. Come back onto 2 feet. See what it feels like to be on 2 feet. Feel what it feels like to have stretched the muscles we've stretched. Feel for balance and symmetry. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're going to do a simple hip circle. Feel what it feels like to move. Go in the opposite direction. Looking for balance and symmetry. Okay, we're going to go back to the block again. The reason why we're hanging out so much in the calf today is the calf is such a powerful muscle. It's involved in walk, and it's really the evolutionary difference between bipedal animals versus quadrupeds. This calf muscle has to retain a certain amount of tension in order for us to walk. And we want to make sure we can load it and unload it. And that's what most people don't do at the end of the day, is unload their calves. We're going to unload the calves. So in this position, abs are nice and tight. You're going to bend and straighten your right leg. Abs are nice and tight on this one. It's okay if your hips boom chicka boom to the side. Kind of like that. Keep breathing. Make sure that right knee goes straight forward and it doesn't go medial. Straight forward. There you go. Okay. Then straighten your right leg. You've been bending, straighten your left leg. And again, make sure that left knee now goes straight forward, straight back. It doesn't go medial. This is opening up a muscle called your soleus. Soleus is very important in standing mechanics, but also cardiovascular functioning, because it's our second heart. It pumps blood from our lower extremities back to our heart. So if that gets overly clenched, we're losing the benefit of that. That's how come when you're in an airplane, your feet swell up. Okay, you're going to keep both knees bent this time. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. This is going to be a hinge forward. Stick your booty out, straight spine. So I'll do it from the side a little bit. You're going to go straight spine, and then you're going to come straight back up. Hips go forward. This is take the tension out of your back. Having done carnival, abs are nice and tight. Just flex forward, flex back, abs are nice and tight. Knees are bent on this one. Maria's here. Open up that low back. So when the calves get tight, it can artificially make your back feel sore. That's why most people with back problems actually have calf problems. Okay, keep your knees bent. This is a weird one. Push your hips forward, reach over the top of your head. You're gonna go side to side. Knees are bent. Suck in that tummy. Okay, good. Oh, Miss Counter is here. We're not going to do it aimlessly for hours, okay?
Or deprive everyone of the full experience.
Yes, exactly. We're going to start out with our right leg straight. We're going to bend and straighten our left leg. Make sure that left knee goes straight forward, straight back. It doesn't go medial. We don't want to see that. Suck in that tummy. This one will cause your belly to hang out if you're not conscious. Notice if it's tighter or looser on one side than the other. Your job is to make the balance that Maria talked about at the end of last class.
Good.
Now bend and straighten your left leg. I'm used to doing it on my rhythm now. Watch the alignment. This is opening up your soleus. And as I said, that's the second heart in your body. You gotta make sure it can pump.
10.
We're gonna do 20. This one's tight on me. Keep your abs engaged. Keep smiling up.
20.
Okay. Bend both of your knees. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go. We're gonna hinge forward, stick your booty out, and then come back up. Keep your knees bent. Keep your knees turned out. Keep your quads on. First, second, third chakras stay fired up. Lats are on. So, last night I was on Amazon Prime binging, and I watched the whole Jack Reacher series. I've read a couple of the, what's his name, Lee Child's books, and I love the Jack Reacher series, and this was pretty consistent, I have to say. Suck in that tummy.
10.
Okay. Keep your knees bent, arms go over the top of your head. You're gonna go side to side. The trick here is to really move from your hips with those knees bent. Keep those knees turned out. This is gonna make your back muscles fire up.
10.
Good. Go ahead and stand once again. See what it feels like to stand. Everything should feel very balanced out now. And we're getting more of that symmetry we talked about earlier. Okay? You're gonna put your right knee on the block. Or sorry, left knee on the block, right foot forward. I am gonna get this. Abs are nice and tight. Make sure that head's over the top of the block and remains there. By keeping your core on, you're gonna go side to side. Keep breathing.
10.
We're gonna push our hips forward, same thing. We're looking for anything that doesn't feel symmetrical. When you go to the left and the right, does it feel symmetrical? When we do right side versus left side, is it symmetrical? Does it feel like it's in the joint at certain points? Pull it into the muscles. This is all about creating balance.
10.
Okay? We're gonna stay here and reach back, grab that foot. You're gonna try to bring that heel to your butt first. Abs are nice and tight. If you need a strap, that's fine. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back, and then you're gonna push your hips forward. Suck in that tummy, and then once again, side to side. Oh yeah, tightness, tightness. Go, David. Suck in your tummy. Push your hips a little bit further forward, side to side.
Belly in.
Suck your tummy in. You guys, not me.
10.
Ooh, okay. You're gonna release that leg. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna curl your toes under of your left foot. We're gonna sit back into the thinker position. This will stretch out the plantar fascia of your foot and your calf muscles. So push that heel back. If you feel any tension in your metatarsal heads, those are the knuckles of your toes. That means you need to push your heel back. So we're just gonna stay in this little thinker position as we stretch out that leg. So your left elbow is on your right knee. And then we're gonna do it one better. You're gonna straighten out that left arm. You're gonna put your right hand on your booty cheek. You're gonna drive yourself into rotation. And breathe. If you're not in a good place with your diet and you go to watch the Jack Reacher series, make sure to close your eyes when he's eating. Because he eats anything he wants because he's a big guy that works his body hard. Okay, come back to center. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna pull ourselves deeper into flexion. You may recognize this position from the opening scene in The Terminator. That's how they came through the time portal.
I guess you have to be naked, but.
Yeah, it's true. That could be fun. All right. We're gonna come back up again. You can uncurl your toes. You're gonna point your rear toes behind you. We're gonna go back into this position again. So see how Maria's toes are curled under? That's what we want, Annie. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna pull ourselves into that Terminator opening scene position. Or beginning of a modern dance. One of the two. Try to feel what it feels like now to elongate your back muscles. You should feel a stretch of your right calf muscle as your right heel goes down in this position. Okay, come back up again. You're gonna straighten out your right leg, cross midline. Abs are nice and tight. You're first gonna just reach with that left hand using the roller, pulling you forward. And then you're gonna take your right hand and reach for your right toes. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. No tension in joints. You should only feel this in muscles. You should not feel this in your back. You should feel this in your abs. Lats are on, and you're breathing. Jaws relaxed. And then come back up again. You're gonna put the roller off to your, what is this, right side? You're gonna cross your knee over your left, and you're gonna sit back. Your toes are curled under again. That's the left toes, and you're in this nice tight position. Pull your heel into your hip. We're gonna just hold this for about 10 more seconds. 9, 8, abs on, no joints. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We switch sides. Oh, you're on your knee again. Your abs are on. Your head's over the top of the block. And will remain there because you're going to keep your abs on. Your hips are going to go side to side. Suck in your tummy. Keep breathing.
10.
Okay, we're gonna push our hips forward. Same thing, side to side. Feel if it's the same as your left side. Using your memory, Because if you don't have a memory that there's a difference, you can't correct into balance. So this is where we're working on balance. I'm having a little trouble going to the left. I'm gonna work on that a little bit. There we go. Okay, then you're gonna take your left hand, grab your right foot, and then you're gonna pull that heel to your butt first. Just get it there. Abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down and back. And then here we go. You're gonna lunge forward and you're gonna twist to the left. Suck that tummy in. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. Just lean forward more and hips side to side. Look for asymmetries, because we're seeking balance.
10.
Okay, good. Release that leg back behind you. Curl your toes under. We're going to go into our thinker position. Remember, if your metatarsal heads are feeling jammed up, push your heel back. Now you're going to take your right elbow, put it on your left knee. Keep breathing. And now we're going to do it one better. Straighten out that right arm. Put your left hand on your booty cheek. Chest goes up as you rotate to your left. Keep breathing. Oh, the doves are back. Time?
10.
Okay, good. Now we're going to do the Terminator opening scene as you flex forward. Hold that position. Feel what it feels like to balance out this stretch compared to the other side. And then we're going to come up. You're going to straighten your toes back behind you. We'll look at Maria's toes. She's pointing them. And you're going to go back into that position as you go into the opening scene of Terminator. The T-1000. Okay, then we're gonna come all the way up. Here, what do we do next? Take that leg across midline?
Right here. No, crossover.
Oh yeah, we did a crossover. Sorry, crossover. Cross that leg over the top. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. You can pull that foot in. You're gonna hold here. I guess the roller's easier off to your left. I goofed. Don't move it to your right. Stick that booty out. Make sure the stretch is symmetrical. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up out of it. As you now take your leg across the midline. You're gonna reach forward with that right hand. And then you're gonna reach with your left hand to your left foot. Suck in your tummy, no pain in any joints, it should be in muscles. And you're breathing. Yeah, good. We're going to come back up again, and we're going to come into kneeling. We don't realize a lot of times the pain in our low back has very little to do with our low back, and that's why we're going to do this next piece, which is stretching the quads. Stretching your tibialis anterior, which is on the front of your legs, Drawing your shoulder blades down and back, we're just going to stretch back until our knees lift up off the ground. You're going to suck in that tummy. You're going to suck that tummy in and then release. But the main goal is to get that stretch in there.
Really get that belly button sucked in towards your spine.
Look at them. Don't look at me.
I'm just looking straight.
She's talking to you guys.
It's really time for a side cam.
No side cams. Not till we're on this cleanse for longer. Okay, stay in the same position, drop your knees down, push your hips forward. Make sure your quads are on evenly, because we're going for balance in everything we do. And then drop that booty down. You're going to curl your toes under. Same thing. If you feel excessive pressure in your metatarsal heads, that means to push your heels back and then back even further. Because this you should feel in your quads, even though your toes are bent backwards. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummies.
Suck, suck, suck that belly button in.
You just look at them when you say that.
I'm looking at the sky.
You were not looking at the sky. And now you're going to push your hips forward, 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 forward. You can drop your head back if you'd like. And go ahead and point your toes now. Ooh. Should have had a nice stretch on both your quads and your feet. We're going to swing around, bring our feet out in front of us. Okay, we're going to start out with our feet together. Chest up nice and tall, abs are nice and tight. You can rock side to side like you're having a really good time. Or you're on one of those miniature bobsled, round disky things in the snow. I got a great story about one of those.
Make sure your belly button's sucked towards your spine, chest up.
Okay, that was big and exciting. Now you're going to take your block and you're going to put it in between your feet. So it's like one separation. You're going to pull your feet towards your crotch. Chest is up, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back. Suck in your tummy, and you're gonna rock like you're having fun. So my mom got me one of those discs that you're supposed to slide around in the snow, but it was one of those things where we never got to snow. But I had it for like 2 years, and over the 2 years I formulated different things, so if it ever hit the snow, it would go really, really fast. So one time I actually got to go to the snow, and one of my sister's friends, her boyfriend trying to impress her, took it and she didn't realize there was my super motion lotion on the bottom of this disc. And we see him going down the hill. Man, he was going so fast. But then he realized he couldn't slow down on this disc that he was on. And you know how they snow plow the road and then there's a big lip off the side of the road? The last thing we saw him do was go flying off one of those. And then he went into darkness and we didn't see him for a while. And then we ran over to the edge and he's laid flat out on the street. Abs are nice and tight. Okay, now you're going to put the block this way. Feet together. Pull it closer to your crotch, chest goes up, so abs are nice and tight. We're opening up your adductors. You'll see why. Smiles are up, chest is up. Pretend you're on one of those silver discs going to your flight school training class as you go off that giant lip onto the very hard ground. He only had a little concussion, that was fine.
Abs in, chest up.
And as a younger brother, you love it when your older sister's boyfriend's got concussions. Okay, and now you're gonna turn the block this way. Your feet go on the block. We're gonna open further, chest up, pull the block towards your crotch, and you're going side to side still.
Abs in, chest up.
Suck that tummy in. Smiles are up.
Okay.
Alrighty then. You're gonna put your legs straight. You're gonna bring your legs back together, which is gonna be harder than you think. And using your abs, quads are on, calves are on, sucking your tummy, you're gonna reach, pulling yourself closer to your toes from your abs.
Tight.
Suck, suck, suck in that tummy. Wow, it's raining yet again. Okay, you're coming back up again. Now you're gonna take your left ankle across your right side of your body like this. Like you're crossing your legs really deeply. You're gonna try to pull that leg up as far as you can. Then you're gonna grab a hold of your knee. Try to pull your knee into your butt. Your chest goes up nice and tall. You should feel a deep stretch in that left glute max. You can continue your crazy rock side to side or front to back. Front to back's a real crazy way. Yeah. Yeah. If you ever want to freak someone out, rock at them like that.
Opposite direction.
All right, opposite direction. Keep pulling that knee to your chest. Okay, since you got that, keep pulling your knee to your chest. You're gonna lean over, bend that right knee, and you're gonna keep pulling your knee to your chest. Chest goes up nice and tall, spine is straight. Woo, this will make a nice stretch in that booty cheeks. This is some bootylicious stretching. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. You can rock side to side. You can get it, David. There you go. Oh, almost got it. Ah, there you go. Smiles are up. Annie, smile. Okay. Go ahead and take your legs out in front of you. Again, shake them out. We're going to check out that forward fold. It should feel a whole lot easier once again.
One side.
One side does at least. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to take that right leg across midline. You're pulling it up as high as you can, and then you're going to hug that knee into your chest. And you're trying to feel that stretch in the booty. The booty is a technical term for the badonkadonk. That's where we're stretching. Chest is up nice and tall. You can rock. That just makes things a little bit easier. This is why mothers rock babies. It puts you in parasympathetic, thriving, relaxing restoration. Keep breathing, suck in that tummy. Okay? Then you're gonna creep that left leg underneath you. You're gonna pull everything deeper. You're gonna bring your knee to your chest. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in that tummy. And then we're gonna rock again. Rock, rock, rock. Or you can do Mario circles. Remember to breathe. Hold on to that knee so you don't get launched into space from the tension in your butt. Right, David? Hold on tight. It's Meredith. And then go in the opposite direction in your circle. Okay. Is that 10? Okay, straighten out both legs again. You're gonna jog your legs. Jog, 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 jog. You can touch your toes. Just notice how much easier it is to stretch, how much deeper things feel, how much safer it feels. It's not in any joints anymore, it's all in muscles. Okay, you're gonna take your ball and you're gonna put your ball now in the small of your back. Ooh, gotta move the microphone. We're gonna counter stretch. We're gonna go in the opposite direction. Your feet are parallel, your hips are going side to side. Oops, I am off the bat. Remember to breathe. You're lengthening your psoas muscle. It's a hip flexor you may have accidentally used. That's why we're doing it. Rock side to side. Draw the shoulder blades down and back. Okay, we're gonna sit back up again. You're gonna have a seat on top of the ball. We are going to put our right shin down. You can use your blocks on this one, you may have to in fact. Right shin is down, and then you're gonna stack your left shin on top. This is gonna work both your glute mediuses, glute medii, and your pelvic floor. Chest is up, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy, you can just rock. Keep your spine straight. So a lot of what we think is low back tightness is actually hip tightness. Yeah, David, just drive that down. Nice ball peen hammer will take care of that. Suck in that tummy. See what it feels like to open up these muscles. Shoulder blades are down and back. You should feel a lengthening of your neck now as it gets easier and you start sinking into this. Switch sides yet? Okay, we are gonna switch sides now. You're gonna put your left leg down and you're gonna put your right leg on top of it. Did you guys have any idea that the Olympics have started, the Winter Olympics? I totally did not know.
No, I didn't know either.
Yeah, and then, China let a Uyghur light the torch. The Uyghurs, the same people that they're trying to create a mass genocide with, is representing the torch lighting. Go China. Abs are nice and tight, my people. Because if it looks good on media, nothing bad is happening. Really feel what it feels like to stretch open your hips. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. You can go in the opposite direction any old time you want. This is just to open up those hips. Notice what's tight. We're also working pelvic floor simultaneously, which is a really cool combination of opening tight muscles of hips and actually putting the tension where it's supposed to be instead of in your butt. Putting it in your pelvic floor, everything about that sounded wrong. Okay. Now, you're gonna put your, right foot down, and we're gonna take it to the inside. You're gonna open up tensor fascia lata. Keep your chest up nice and tall. You should feel like the little mermaid sitting on the rock in the Hans Christian Andersen story. Suck in your tummy. And you could rock it if you want, if you feel tightness in there to open it up a little bit. And then we're gonna do the other side. So your leg comes up, the other end comes down. You're gonna rock this side open. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. If it is, you need to work on balance to get rid of that unintentional limp. Good. Continuing on pelvic floor, I'm gonna slightly go off angle so Mario and I don't run into each other. We're gonna take our legs apart. Whew. You're sitting on top of that ball. You're gonna tighten up your pelvic floor so the ball doesn't pop into your mouth like a lozenge. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. And then you can just wiggle your booty around to take away pain anywhere there is in your pelvic floor. There should be no pain. Should be just stabilization. If you want, you can take your hands off the ground and head both hands towards your right leg.
Excuse you.
You were falling.
I was not.
Sucking that tummy. Woo! I got really loud there. And then you can go to the left side. Whoa. Notice this one side's tighter than the other. We don't like one side that's tighter than the other. We know what that leads to. We want balance instead. Whoa, Wolfie's starting to snore. Okay, we're coming up. We're gonna go forward now. You're gonna reach for both your toes. In case you go to a disco, like revival party, you can do your split leap.
You can also use your blocks if you need.
Yeah, so if you're on your tighter side, you could take those blocks out in front of you. If you're super tight, you could take those blocks back behind you and push yourself forward. Either way works. All right. Now, once again, your feet are gonna come together, your knees stay apart. You're gonna stretch forward. I want you to get the very anterior portion of your pelvic floor with the ball as you're leaning forward. You could put your hands out in front of you. If you're on the tight side, you could put the blocks behind you to push.
You can place your elbows on your knees and gently guide the legs down.
Keep your abs engaged. Almost done. We're gonna come off the ball. Since your legs are already in that splayed position, you're gonna put your knees apart and we're gonna do our frog stretches. You're gonna do your frog stretch forward and then you're gonna stick your booty out. Forward and backwards. It's really interesting because in the animal kingdom, like dogs can do the splits, but they have really no need to be able to do the splits. Humans need to be able to do the splits, but most humans can't do the splits. So this is interesting. So we're gonna keep working you guys into doing front and back motion of your hips. If you find a sore spot, you can wiggle around until it opens up. Keep your abs engaged, especially keep that pelvic floor on. Feel what it feels like to really stretch out those muscles. And good. Come into kneeling real quickly. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Let your blood pressure regulate. Let your adductors adapt a little bit. And then you're gonna lay on your roller lengthwise, butt at one end, head at the other end. Shoulder blades are down and back. You're squeezing your shoulder blades against the roller. Feet are parallel, knees are over tops of your feet. Your first chakra's on your pelvic floor. You're closing up third chakra, your upper rib cage, and then you're sucking your tummy in until your spine touches a roller and your navel touches your spine. You're gonna inhale and out, exhale through the second chakra so it moves away as you inhale, and then as you exhale, it comes closer together. Just keep breathing. Try to get all the air out of your lungs. Probably the biggest thing where we injure ourselves is the asymmetry in our breathing. So as you breathe, try to get your body to be symmetrical and balanced as you inhale and you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. There should be no shake or shimmy, wiggle or yawing, tilting, or all the different positions. Yaw, tilt, and roll. No rolling. Just notice what it's like to breathe for symmetry. Notice as you're breathing, are you falling to the right? Are you falling to the left? Are you shimmying back and forth? Try to just eliminate that and find balance. We are so close to balance at any given point, but habit tends to be more pervasive. And in that habit, we create that unintentional limp. So take that few extra steps. It's probably not even few steps, one step to come back to center. And in that center, you find balance. And then we eliminate things like unintentional limp. We eliminate bad decision making. We eliminate bad temperament just by taking that one moment to center. Continue to breathe. I'm going to sit up. You guys stay on the roller. Just continue to breathe. Continue to find that balance and symmetry. Find that elongation and knowing where your center is and balance is. From there, you know you're not accidentally hurting yourself, and you're certainly not hurting yourself long term because you're in balance. Like eventually we all die, we all fall apart. That's just a reality. But in the meantime, our goal is to keep in symmetry and in balance. To minimize the stresses to the body, to stay in the greatest alignment of who we are, connected to something higher. Feel these breaths in the last few moments. Feel the balance and symmetry. You guys have done an amazing job. And on behalf of Maria and me, we thank you every time for being here, being present, being willing to do the crazy things we ask you to do, for being willing. Thank you, and namaste.
Namaste.
Good job getting